It is Friday, December 23rd, 2022. I have made it out to just drive around a little bit, as I talked about on my way driving out through this forest and the personal side of things in another video. But for this video, I just wanted to do a little bit of reflection. I've found let's see here, let's do a video. Let's try and hold the video still. Just very pretty mountains. I've made it out to what would be a campground during the non-winter months. And it's just currently plowed as a day use area so that you can, I guess, walk the trail if you want to walk there is a trail. It said there was a trailhead. I don't know where the trail starts. I have no intention of walking. It is incredibly cold. We've had a winter storm the last few days, and this is kind of a break between this and then the next bit that will start tomorrow, where we're supposed to get more snow, more cold weather, cold winds, wind chill bringing it down. Anyway, I have been noticing the date and where we're coming up on, and it always, I've never really been New Year's resolution kind of thing, but the new year does signify something, at least for me. I started this right around the new year 2 years ago. I started doing this specifically. It was summer of 2018, I think, when I actually first started taking a camera out and going and exploring nature and looking for wildlife. But specifically, I would then go home and write about and take the pictures and share them on a blog on my own website. And then that transitioned to posting videos, blog posts, and then onto videos on Patreon first, and then releasing them to YouTube. And it was 2 years ago, January, when the first video ever came out, where I explained who I am, what I want to do. There's tracks in the snow right there. I wonder what that is. They're so small. I explained who I am, what I want to do, why I'm doing it, and that this would be kind of a record of my adventures. And a lot has happened in 2 years, and that's the nice thing to reflect back on. It kind of helps because I do, especially if you've been following along recently, there has been a lot of not so much wildlife in the very rocky mountains of Colorado during the winter. It's a lot tougher for me to find a whole lot. A bird here or there, but not anything consistent that I can get out with the camera to see. The last time I made it out, I went to Rocky Mountain National Park and I saw the coyote, which was really cool. So I have been reflecting on that. That helps because that gets me down. Not going out seeing wildlife, not going out gets me down. It makes me feel like I'm not achieving the goal that I set out to do. It makes me feel like I'm not living up to my own expectations of myself. So not going out, or going out and not seeing what I want to see, doesn't make me feel great. So the reflecting actually helps, because even though it's a lull right now, I know that it will get better. I know that there will be more wildlife coming back to the area. I've already heard from locals about the spring with all the different birds that migrate back to the area. I'm excited for that. We just get through winter. We'll see whatever we can see during the winter, as much as we can. And that helps, looking back over those things. I did not yet. I may still. This is just the first day of a winter vacation that I have taken from work, so I am able to devote more time to renewing my energy levels, resting, doing things that I find enjoyable and fun and mentally relaxation, and then also physically, and more time spent doing this, which I also enjoy. But looking back over, I may still come up with I don't know if I want to cut together a video that's like best of or anything like that, but at least just talking about it, reflecting over some of the things that I've seen. I can name a few just over since I started doing video specifically 2 years ago. Seeing the sage grouse, that was amazing. Going out and seeing them doing not just going out, not just seeing sage grouse, which I hadn't seen before, but going out, seeing sage grouse 2 weekends in a row and being able to capture footage at a reasonable distance to get some really cool shots of them doing their mating dance, the lek. That's a highlight right there. That's really cool to see. The hummingbirds, moving here and getting to see hummingbirds so up close at the bird feeder that I hung up for them, that was an amazing experience. That one's more relatable to people who don't want to go out and find all this stuff and do, they can just hang up a bird feeder, and if they have an area where hummingbirds come, they will see hummingbirds. So that doesn't detract or add or anything there, but it's still a cool thing. I enjoy it. So yeah, it's been a nice time. Thought I saw something. There's also a car approaching, but I imagine they'll just go over and walk whatever trail or whatever they're doing. The mink back at the state park in Wyoming that I didn't live too far away from, and I could visit there during the winter, seeing the mink getting all set up and just going, all right, well, let's see what we can see. Sitting out here and watching a beaver for a little while, and then the waterfowl floating down the river, and then seeing a mink go across the water and then up and doing a little roll around on the ice. Just adorable. That's a highlight. It's good to know that like those things happened, and I will have more like that, and they will just get better. I mean, I got to see elk just 2 months ago. Was it in October? I think it was October. Kind of blurs together. I think October was the first time I made it to Rocky Mountain National Park, and I got to see the elk. I hope to make it back out there to see more elk at some point, but I haven't seen any yet. I only went back the one time and basically went back to the same place, saw the coyote. Anyway, the point is that I've been reflecting. I've been looking back over my own stuff to try to grab the reason why I'm doing it. To remind myself that I've done those highlights, those few. It's not everything, and obviously I enjoy every time I go out, but specifically seeing those things that literally are amazing to me. They bring me amazement that I was able to experience that, to not just see it, to capture it, to be able to share it, is an amazing thing. I don't always go out and see something amazing, but those things, by the very literal definition of amazing. It's really cool. And it does bring me back up to know that I will see more again. But the other thing, reflecting over what I've done and what I've achieved so far, and my goals to continue, and how I can continue to improve. One of the things I thought of the other day, and I'm going to start doing. Well, to make a long story short, let me introduce you to the newest member of the team, the editor. Introducing the editor. The editor is rich of features such as poor lighting, not great audio quality, sometimes not the best disposition, a wealth of information right at his fingertips. So, yes, what I did was I took the camera that I first got 2 years ago to start vlogging with that could not do 4K, which is my standard for my own reasons of I want everything in 4K 60 frames per second. That's where I currently and try to shoot for everything at, right? That one couldn't do it. And I used it for years until I kind of switched over and have tried out a couple different things, but it only does 1080. It's fine. I was using it for meetings for my actual job that pays me money. I had it set up with the HDMI cable into a switcher. I did that whole thing, and it used to have something changed, and I don't know what I did. I don't know if it was a setting I couldn't figure out. I did it before when I had meetings, and it would give 30 minutes of time before it timed out, and it would auto shut off because it's not a video camera. It's a digital camera first for still photos with video elements. There's a whole reason with tariffs for tax information when they're imported from overseas, from where they're manufactured, and why video cameras are taxed more heavily, so they put a lot of video. It's a whole thing. I don't know enough to explain that. But the point is, that one would give me 30 minutes. It stopped doing that. It would do 10, even though I changed the auto shut off to not do that in the settings. It still only gave me 10 minutes before it would shut off. I don't really know why. All right, more people are coming. One moment. So the point is that I had trouble with it there, and I realized I don't really need that. I can use my old camera. It works just fine. The first camera I ever got, I have uploaded custom software into it, basically hacked it, because it's not like it had a warranty anyway, and I'm not using it for anything. But in order to get past those things, I can't do that on the M50 that I got, which is the brand, the model, I mean. And I don't trust it on that one. But anyway, if you just plug it in through USB, it works as a webcam, which is what I should have been doing anyway, but I don't get all the features of the whole HDMI switch that I use. But it dawned on me, if I'm not using it, I could put it to use. And here's one of the biggest problems that I run into. I don't enjoy editing, and I'm lazy. Quite often, and I've noticed throughout the videos, I've only managed to do it a couple of times where it's been like, okay, this needs more information. This needs something else to it. But that would require me to go get a camera, to go set it up. I don't really have the space or set up in the, I used to do that in the basement sometimes, but it was not very often, to then record all these things, transfer the footage back in while I'm trying to edit and finish a video as it is. So the entire point is that I've set up like the webcam to just record straight from the computer. That should be the easiest way for me to jump in and do anything. I should have thought of that a long time ago. I didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't. But yes, that I'm hoping, if I make a big enough deal about it, if I've made it easy enough to the point where there's really no excuse why I shouldn't, because definitely it'll hit a point where I go, yeah, I should probably include some voiceover. I don't have a microphone hooked up to this computer where I'm editing. I don't have, I would have to go get the stuff, and then I have to edit it I have to go record it separately, import more footage into the project I'm already working on when I'm editing, and do that stuff. Most people, probably no big deal, and that's exactly what they do, and that's good. I'm lazy and don't do that. To me, it's like, well, it's probably good enough, and I let it go as it is. This should prevent me from doing that. Literally, if it's as easy as close down the editing program, open up OBS, which is how I will capture the webcam footage, a different program, and just speak and talk out loud. It doesn't have to be perfect. If I've already admitted that it's not going to be perfect, I'm not going to try to make it any better than it is. I may make a funny graphic, I haven't decided yet, to put over it whenever the editor jumps in, and giving it a different persona may help me make it a joke, which will remind me to do it more often. Try to make it fun so that I enjoy it. But we can also use that to our advantage. For example, at any point while I'm out recording and I just start musing like I do, I wonder what the freezing temperature of transmission fluid is.
Negative 90 degrees.
Which, if you were watching the personal video, you'll understand why I thought that. But now you just clip in the editor answering the question. And that may be why there's a bit of a salty disposition, is because I'm going to force myself to do that all the time with anything that I think of. But then then I will be able to actually provide more information. I can actually research. I do most of the research anyway, and then I would put it in text. There was a lot of times where I would put things in text. Back when I was recording in 1080, when I record all in 4K, it's a lot harder to do. My computer really can't keep up with it. I've got an older graphics card at this point. It should be fine, but it struggles with 4K footage and 6K footage when I'm using the Pocket Cinema camera. And putting text on top of that, basically, it makes it chug, and it makes it a lot harder to edit if it's not smooth, because you kind of have to, and I've made mistakes where I've been like, all right, get everything done. I think it's fine. Let me put the text on there because that's the last thing I'll do. I'll get that stuff done, and then I just kind of have to go with it, and I don't double check it because I cannot get it to play back smoothly. There's been a lot of editing troubles, and I really, at this point, I do the best that I can with caching the footage beforehand, technical things to basically try to get as smooth a playback as possible on the older graphics card, which is all that I could afford when I built that computer. I really am thinking the next best upgrade I could get. Like, I've got cameras, I've got all the stuff. Yes, there's plenty more things, little gadgets and toys that I want to get because I do enjoy that part of it as well. But I think the next best, where my money could best be spent is a graphics card upgrade, so that I could edit footage better, and I could get a significant one. That may be what the money I use for my contract work goes towards next, is what I'm considering. But the point was, I wanted to get out. I wanted to look around. Even if I don't see any wildlife, I wanted to see the landscape, be out in the snow. What's the average snowfall for the Rocky Mountains, editor?
I don't know. That's not an easy thing to look up. It varies a lot because the peaks are a lot more than the valleys. They get a lot more. The Rocky Mountain National Park website measures monthly averages of snowfall in just single-digit inches. But I don't think that can be true. I get winter warning alerts for Rocky Mountain National Park as one of the locations on my phone that I've set up to let me know because I want to go there. Almost every week it seems to be there's a winter warning that they're going to get between 6 to 12 inches or even more, up to 18 inches, 2 feet of snow on a regular weekly basis, it seems. So I don't know. Apparently Colorado as an entire state gets 33 inches a year. That doesn't seem like... I think I've seen more than 33 inches in the past few weeks. I don't think that's entirely accurate, but I did find out 3 hours south of Rocky Mountain National Park there is Antero Reservoir in Park County, which apparently has been the coldest place in the United States for 2 days in a row, with a temperature of negative 148 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. Really cold.
I'm going to enjoy this so much on the front end, and the extra work on the back end is going to be interesting. But yes, that was the whole thing. I thought I'd make it, I try to do this as fun as I can for myself. Even if I'm just making myself laugh, that's worth it. And I've done goofy things before in the videos. I've done the bird news videos still cracks me up. That was one where I was like, oh, I got the idea, and I just started going with it. And you're just laughing the whole time, and then you get done and you're like, that was silly. Worth it. Anyway. That was the main point of this. I wanted to get out. I wanted to see what I could see. Even if I don't see anything wildlife-wise today, I still got out. I still got to see what was going on. And the newest thing that I've set up is the ability to pipe into my own videos with future information. And to do that as easily as possible, even if the quality is great. To try to accept a lower quality on something, which I usually don't do. I do strive for a certain base level of standard to the best of my ability, and then that moves over time. I mean, when I started this, I did not have a lavalier mic. I don't think. Did I? No, I'm pretty sure I just grabbed a shotgun mic. I think I bought a lavalier separately at another point in time. I'm pretty sure the first videos I ever made, I just took the Canon mirrorless camera that I bought specifically to record vlogs, and I just got a shotgun mic to go with it. I don't think I even started, but I mean, this recorder to record my audio separately, so I always have 2 copies of it, is relatively new as well. And there will be many, many more upgrades to the technical side of things as time goes on, because that is one of the reasons I do it. I really enjoy getting the stuff. I really enjoy putting it to use. It is a fun thing. I like opening new presents to myself. Anyway, that's enough of this. If I see anything else today, I will jump in with that. Otherwise, it's just pictures so far of the snowy mountains and a little bit of footage from the driving around on these clear roads, which is better than last week. I got to do better about that. That's one thing for sure, making sure that this thing is on a mount instead of hand holding it, because that is more dangerous. I should not be doing that while I am driving, that for sure. And I did that a bit last week because I didn't have the clip with me. I think I'm just going to buy a second clip so I always have one in the bag and in the car, and there's no excuse why not. But yeah. Okay, this counts. Zoom all the way in. Do. There's geese, just out in the field of snow. As I'm driving back to civilization, there's like tubing on one side, and I mean, I don't know how well that was going to come out. They're so very far away, and I'm not going to put the big lens on. They're just sitting out there in the snow. But hey, there's geese. There are geese of the Canadian variety or cackling variety, since there are two types of those, and the difference is the bill. I think that's the main difference. But anyway, wildlife. There, I saw geese. Mission accomplished. I saw something. Was it something close enough where I could take some good pictures? No. But I saw something. Ladies and gentlemen, the editor has so many amazing features, full of rich, detailed sound. No, wait. Introducing the editor. The editor is rich of features, such as poor lighting, not great audio quality, sometimes not the best disposition, a wealth of information right at his fingertips.